So hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to solve GFG problem of the day, that is cut rope to maximize product. So let's first read the problem statement. Given a rope of length n meters, cut it into multiple smaller ropes such that the product of their lengths is maximized. At least one cut is mandatory. So question says we are given a rope of n meters and we need to divide it into the smaller ropes such that the product of the length of those ropes, smaller ropes, is maximum. So let's uh, understand these examples, right? So okay, now we are here. So what we will do, we'll start from the n is equal to 2. So what can we do? What are the possible cuts over here for this example? So cut possible is 1 1. We can split into the, means one portion is like of one length and another portion is of one length, right? So what will be the answer? So our answer would be 1 into 1 is a 1, because one cut is mandatory. At least one cut is mandatory. So answer for the 2 is 1. Okay. Now we'll look the answer. We'll see the rope of length n. So what are the possible splits? So here splits could be 1 2 or 2 1, right? These are the possible splits. So what can we do over here is, see, now 1 or 2 means what can be your answer? So your answer would be, one possible answer is like 2. Another possible answers are like, now see, whenever you move the rope of the higher length, right? So what will be like you are doing over here? So you are like cutting down the ropes. You are cutting the ropes, and when you cut the rope, then you already have the answer of the smaller length rope, right? Because you have already encountered those rope earlier. So what I mean is, see, if you have the n is equal to 3, so what you can do, you will this break down this, means you will cut this rope and of the length 1, and another one is of length 2. So we know the answer for 2. We know the answer of 1, right? 1 means only 1. There is only one part. But we also know the answer for 2, right? Because since we have here already, we know that answer of 2 is 1. Means if you have a 2 length, length of a rope is a 2, then your answer is 1, right? So what you can do, you can use these answers to compute the answer, in order to compute this answer for the n is equal to 3. So that's what I have done here. See, but another thing is like, only like using the answer from the previous thing that we already like, computed will is not enough, right? We need to like do something extra. Now what is that extra thing? So now I'll explain you. See, there are four different ways. One way is like to, you just split it. So what I have here done, I have split at a point 1, right? Means there is a 1 length and another one is of 2 length. So this is my like split. So now one way is like I multiply 1 with 2, because they already told you need at least one split and we have done one split. So what I can do, I'll multiply 1 with 2. So my one answer is like 2. So what I'll do, I'll just write over here, right? So 1 is a 2. Another is like, so now what another thing that I can do? See, I know the 1 means I cannot do anything with one length, right? Because 1 is 1. So what I'll do, no problem. I'll consider 1 as it is. But I know the answer for the length 2, because I already encountered this number previously, right? So I know the answer for 2 is 1. Why 1? Because in 2 also, like we are splitting. Means whatever the remaining length is there, we are performing split operation on that length also. So that is why here answer for the 2 is 1 over here, right? Means dp of 2 basically. So I'll also explain you what is like dp of 2. Don't worry about it, but I'll just written over here. So as of now you just understand it, whatever I'm explaining to you. So one thing is like this, right? Another thing is like what you can do. Another thing is like you will like get the answer for 1. So now answer for 1 is 1 as it is. So I'll again put 1, and you will put 2 as it is, right? You will put 2 as it is. So into 2. Why 2? Because see, answer of for the 1 is always 1. There is no change, and 2 I am putting as it is, right? And another thing is like, I am getting the answer for both 1 and 2. So it generally means dp of 1 into dp of 2, because this question is of dp, that is why I have written over here dp, right? So these are the different possible ways of getting answer. So this is basically multiply multiplication, and over here also multiplication, right? So these are the different ways. Now I we need to find the maximum out of this. So what is the maximum? Maximum is 2, right? So that is why I have written over here 2. So again we will apply the same thing for all possible splits. I have just shown you for the means few of them, means for the first, and for similar thing you will same thing you will do for rest of the splits, right? So this is for n is equal to 3. So answer is like 2. Now we will look at this particular example, right? That is n is equal to 4. So for this, there are three possible split. And again, you don't need to like traverse to the entire split. If you just travel to the means till the half of the row, then it is enough, because after the middle point, you are like repeating yourself, right? So we don't need to do that thing. So here what we will do, we will see here. Now you will understand here better. So here the one way is 1 3. So like you will multiply 1 into 3 is 3. So there is one possible answer is 3, right? Then what you can do, you have the answer for 3, but I don't need to like I want to put 1 as it is, and I am deciding to split the 3 into some in some way. At least one split I want on the 3 length, and I want the maximum answer that we have already computed, and that is 2. So what we can do, see, one thing is 1 into 2. Why 1 into 2? I hope you understood. Because we are splitting the 3. Here we have not split. Here we have not splitted this means this both of the length. We had kept both of this length as it is. But over here in the second possible way, I already told that we have four different possible ways, right? So here I have like kept one as it is, and I splitted this 3 length rope into means some chunks, right? So such that I got the maximum length. So maximum that I can obtain out of this 3 length means of 3 length is 2, which I already computed previously, right? So that is why I've done 1 into 2. Now what is the different another way? So what I can do, I'm deciding like to split 1, but there is no means we cannot split 1. So another way is like you will put 1 as it is, and sorry, 1, there is no possible ways, that is why 1 is as it is, and I am also again keeping the 3 as it is, right? So again 3 is as it is. So what I'll do, 1 into 3. So this is also a split means I answer. Another thing is like I am splitting both of them, and another thing is a 3. So from 3 we already know the answer is 2. So out of these four ways, which one is giving me a maximum? So 1 into 3 is 3, and another thing is like okay, yes. So out of these we are getting the 3 answer, right? But still we have different possible or other ways also to split 4 length row. So another way is like 2 into 2. So you can see that 2 into 2 is 4, but still you will do the same thing that I just shown you for the 1 3. So you will perform the same thing, and finally you will end up having this answer 4, right, for this particular rope. Now we can apply the similar thing for rest of the lengths. So I hope like this is now clear to you. How can we solve this particular problem? So now let's have a look at a code. So here I have initialized first this dp means I have like created the dp vector. Then I have initialized the dp of 1 and 2 with a 1, and then this is my main loop, right? So we will start from 3, means ends first our length will be, the rope of the length will be 3, and we will loop it until we reaches n. So now initially the maximum length is like 1, because we are considering as a rope length is like 1, right? Because we have not splitted it yet. So what we can do, this is our splitting point. See, j is nothing but a splitting point. So if we know that this for all possible value of the j, we will split our I length rope. So this is nothing but this is the way of like getting the maximum answer, right? Means I have just explained you in the like approach that how do we solve this problem. So in that I have told you that we have a four different possible ways, right? So these are the four different possible ways over here that I have like written, and then out of this I'll find the maximum answer, and it will be stored over here, and finally I'll set the dp of I to this maximum, and I will finally return my dp of n, right? So talking about the time complexity of this problem, so it is a n square, because we are using the two nested loops, right? and space complexity is like big of n. Why? Because of this dp vector. So let me just compile this code. So yes, it is working fine, and let me just submit it. Okay, so it indeed got accepted. So I hope like this problem is of classical DP. If you have solved enough problem on a DP, you would have got an intuition that how could we like solve this problem. And yeah, it is pretty easy problem. But still, if you are like having any doubt, feel free to ask me in the comment below. If you are new to my channel, I encourage you to subscribe it, hit the bell icon, share with your friends. Thank you.